What if the outlaw you've been hired to hunt is the only person who understands the cost of the justice you claim to serve? In The Pursuit of the Greywolf Girl, Austin Grayson delivers a historical Western that transcends the chase narrative to become a searing exploration of redemption, cultural collision, and the terrifying clarity that comes when the line between lawman and lawless blurs in the dust of the frontier. This isn't just another bounty hunter tale with shootouts and saloons. It's a gritty, emotionally layered journey where every mile tracked forces a reckoning with prejudice, privilege, and the weight of inherited violence. From the first sun-scorched narration, listeners are plunged into a landscape where honor is currency and survival demands questioning everything you were taught to believe. Perfect for fans of authentic Westerns and character-driven historical fiction, this audiobook serves up relentless momentum, unflinching realism, and a bond forged not in romance, but in mutual recognition of shared humanity. When disgraced U.S. Marshal Elias Thorne accepts a contract to capture the elusive Greywolf Girl, a mixed-race fugitive accused of stealing sacred tribal artifacts, he expects a routine manhunt, not a mirror reflecting his own fractured identity. But as Elias tracks her across treacherous terrain, he discovers she isn't fleeing justice. She's returning stolen heritage to a people erased by the very system he represents. Trapped between federal orders and growing moral doubt, Elias must navigate a labyrinth of corrupt officials, vengeful settlers, and his own buried shame to uncover whether capturing her would be an act of duty or betrayal. Grayson masterfully avoids reducing the Greywolf Girl to mystical trope or noble savage. Instead, he crafts a woman whose resilience is rooted in specific history and whose defiance challenges the myth of Western expansion as progress. The audiobook narration amplifies this emotional precision, capturing Elias's weary determination, softening into genuine respect, and the Greywolf Girl's guarded strength revealing depths beneath survival instinct. You don't just hear the pursuit, you feel the seismic shift of two souls learning to see each other beyond the roles assigned by a broken world. What elevates The Pursuit of the Greywolf Girl beyond typical Western fare is its nuanced portrayal of historical trauma as living reality rather than backdrop. The frontier isn't merely setting, it's an active force shaped by genocide, displacement, and systemic erasure. Elias's journey isn't about capturing a criminal, it's about confronting his complicity in systems that commodify indigenous lives and lands. His evolving relationship with the Greywolf Girl unfolds through acts of radical witness, sharing silence at sacred sites, negotiating trust without demanding assimilation, and protecting each other from threats that exploit racial hierarchies. Supporting characters add vital texture: tribal elders whose wisdom carries both warning and grace, fellow marshals whose loyalty masks bigotry, even the land itself, rendered as ancestral archive holding memories official records tried to bury. Every interaction reinforces the novel's core truth: true justice requires listening to those history silenced. Even the Western tropes serve thematic depth, with bounty posters mirroring dehumanization and horseback chases becoming metaphors for chasing ghosts of national myth. For audiobook listeners, this production is an immersive sensory descent into the American West's unresolved soul. The narrator embodies Elias and the Greywolf Girl with remarkable distinction. Elias's voice carries gravelly exhaustion laced with dawning humility, while her cadence holds steady resolve beneath layers of protective vigilance, making their dynamic palpable even in conflict. Sound design enhances atmosphere without overwhelming intimacy. Distant coyote calls marking emotional transitions, wind through canyon walls during vulnerable confessions, the rhythmic creak of saddle leather syncing with heartbeats during quiet exchanges, all anchor historical stakes in tangible reality. Pacing mirrors the rhythm of tracking itself, deliberate during moments of reflection and cultural immersion, then surging with urgency as external pressures force irreversible choices. Whether you're navigating daily commutes or sitting in twilight solitude, the audiobook creates a portable frontier where isolation feels absolute and connection feels like revelation. It's storytelling as embodied reckoning, transforming passive listening into active participation in a journey that honors both shadow and light. Ultimately, The Pursuit of the Greywolf Girl redefines the historical Western by centering indigenous agency within traditional frameworks. It satisfies genre cravings for authentic action and moral complexity, while delivering substantive commentary on colonial legacy, masculine identity, and the radical act of aligning with truth over tradition. No prior series knowledge is needed. It stands confidently as a complete emotional odyssey. If you've ever wondered whether justice can exist without accountability, or if redemption requires dismantling the self to meet the other, this audiobook will affirm that sometimes the most honorable pursuit is the one that leads you away from everything you thought you know. Press play, step onto the trail, and prepare to believe that even in landscapes scarred by violence, hearts still find ways to choose grace. Your next favorite Western isn't waiting in clean victories. It's waiting in the brave, trembling choice to follow a path that changes you forever.